Good evening, everyone. Good evening and Jai Hind. I hope I'm properly audible and visual to everyone. Good evening, Megha, Sachin, Shaheen. Good evening. So I hope I'm properly audible and visual to all of you. Okay, so like in today's session, we are going to discuss some of the topics which are there. Okay. The first thing which we are going to discuss is about this one topic, glacial lake outburst flood in Lonak Lake. So I welcome you all to the session, and these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. The first thing is the glacial lake outburst flood in Lonak Lake. So this is not a recent flood which has happened. The flood and the glacial lake outburst happened in 2023. But then a recent report has come up, a recent study has come up with respect to this glacial lake outburst flood. In that context, we are going to talk about this topic. We will see three things here. First, the location of Lonak Lake. We will try to understand what is glacial lake outburst flood and what is also cloudburst. So these are the three topics which we will see in this part itself. Okay. Now, second topic is oil import dependence of India. Okay. Like oil import, how much dependence is there on other countries? That is the second topic which we are going to discuss. The third topic which we are going to see is forever chemicals. Now, they are there in the news because there is an alternative which has been proposed. The alternative is about polar bear, that the skin, the fur of this polar bear can be used as an alternative for this forever chemicals. So we will see that what are these forever chemicals, what are the impact of them. So we are going to discuss that. And the fourth topic which we are going to discuss is Point Nemo. Yeah. Point Nemo. So basically, there was this INSV Tarini, Indian naval vessel Tarini, which is an all-women crew, and it is navigating the entire oceanic regions. So it has recently passed through this remotest location, Point Nemo. So we will try to understand what is the location of this Point Nemo, what is the significance of this point. So that is one more thing which we are going to discuss. And then we will also see some questions related to Environment March 2024. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. But before that, let us solve some questions on the basis of last session. Okay. So see, the first question. Consider the following which of the following is correct with respect to lab grown diamonds? We have seen this topic last day, lab grown diamonds. So in that context, this is the topic. It has no harmful environmental impact. It is physically and chemically identical to natural diamonds. And these diamonds are comparatively cheaper. So that is the topic. Select the correct answer. It has no harmful environmental impacts. It is physically and chemically identical to natural diamonds. These diamonds are comparatively cheaper. So I got this complaint that I am asking too much difficult question. That's why I have started with some simple question today. Okay. The answers are option D, option B also from Sachin. Anyone else? What will be the correct answer here? D option. See, these diamonds are comparatively cheaper. We have seen that they are like 40 to 50% cheaper. So this third option is correct, that they are comparatively cheaper, 40 to 50%. Second is, it is physically and chemically identical. So that is also correct. First is saying it has no harmful environmental impact. Read the questions carefully. It is saying it has no harmful environmental impact. It has lesser harmful impact. But we cannot say that it has no impact at all. Like when we are taking the temperature up to 700 degrees centigrade or 1500 degrees centigrade, we are using mostly the power which is coming from thermal power plants or crude oil based sources. So in that, of course, there will be impact on environment, but yes, it will be comparatively less. Okay. So last day also we have seen it is comparatively less than the natural diamonds. Okay. So here it has no harmful environmental impact. That will be incorrect. Answer will be 2 and 3 only. Okay. So I will give you easy question, but not very easy question. I will still have some of the tricks there. Okay. Now coming to the second question, how many of the following is correct with respect to PM Surya Ghar scheme? It can be availed by those people who have got valid electricity connection. It cannot be provided to people living in rented house. It has been launched by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So question number 2. This is easy. How many of the following is correct with respect to PM Surya Ghar scheme? First one is saying it can be availed by those people who have got valid electricity connection. It can be provided to people living in rented house. It has been launched by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Yeah. Yes, this is comparatively easy question. You know that the second option is incorrect. We have read about this. It can be provided to people living in rented house also if they provide proper document, if they provide the no objection certificate, they can also get it. Okay. So yes, everyone is correct here. The answer will be option B, that is only 2. So here the answer will be option B, only 2. Coming to the third question, how many of the following is correct with respect to NAVIC? It provides standard positioning services and restricted services to all citizens of India. All the satellites has been placed in high Earth orbit. It will become operational by 2030. So how many of the following is correct with respect to NAVIC? First is saying it provides standard positioning services and restricted positioning services to all the citizens of India. Second is saying all the satellites has been placed in high Earth orbit. And third is saying it will become operational by 2030. D option is none. Everyone going for D option? Okay, one answer from Ankit as A. Anyone having different answer? See, if we look at this, it will become operational. It is already operational from 2018. Okay, it is already operational from 2018. So this third option is incorrect. All the satellites has been placed in high Earth orbit. This is correct. They have been placed in the geosynchronous orbit or geostationary orbit. So they all have been placed in geosynchronous. They all have been placed in geosynchronous or geostationary. And both these orbits are basically high Earth orbit. Both these orbits are high Earth orbit. They are situated at the height of like 36,000 kilometers. So this second option is correct. First option is incorrect because restricted services is not for citizens of India. It is mainly for the defense forces. It is not for all the citizens. It is for the defense forces. So this first option is incorrect. Answer will be A, only 1. So this second option is correct. All the satellites has been placed in high Earth orbit. Geosynchronous orbits and geostationary orbits, they are high Earth orbits. Okay. So answer will be option A. Okay. I hope it's clear. Now let us start with today's discussion. First thing is this glacial lake outburst flood in Lonak Lake. So let us see 3 important things here. First thing is about the location. The first thing is about the location of this area. So this is the Lonak Lake. This is your Lonak Lake here. On this point, on this part of Sikkim, we have the Lonak Lake. And if we talk about this Lonak Lake, this is basically your glacial lake. glacial lake, and there was a flooding. There was this collapse of a very huge amount of debris in this glacial lake, in this Lonak Lake in 2023. In September 2023, there was this like a huge amount of debris which fall into this Lonak Lake. Due to this Lonak Lake outburst flood happened. Water came here down this Lonak River and Tista River. It led to death of more than 50 people, hundreds gone missing. Even some of the army personnel got missing. It led to destruction of various dams on the Tista River. Okay. So glacial, this lake is located here in Sikkim region. You can see it is in the border area of Sikkim and Tibet, just near Nepal also. So this is a glacial lake. There was a outburst flood, glacial lake outburst flood in 2023. Okay. And more than 50 people got killed due to this. Okay. Even several people are still missing. And at the same time, the Tista Dam, many of the projects on Tista River, that was also destroyed as a result of flood from this area. So that is first part, what is the location of this Lonak Lake. Second thing is, if we talk about this area, we also have to understand what is this glacial lake outburst flood. Okay. What is this glacial lake outburst flood? So let me tell you one thing. Suppose we are having a mountain range. Like this. Okay. Now suppose that in this area, earlier there was glacier. Let us say that earlier this was a glacier. Then gradually what happened, that water started to melt. Water started to melt in this area. So then after that, this becomes your glacial lake. This becomes your glacial lake. Water has started melting on this area. This is also called as retreat of glacier. Melting of glacier is also called as retreat of glacier. Retreat of glacier. It is happening because of climate change, because of higher temperature conditions and all. Okay. So normally what will happen, that this area will now get filled with water. Glacier has receded, glacier has retreated, and there is filling of water in this area. Now suppose by any region, if there is a cloud burst, if there is one thing called as cloud burst, or there is earthquake, or there is landslide, or avalanche, or due to any region, if there is deposition of something here, let us say that some rocks are falling from here and coming to this lake. Some rocks accidentally, there is a landslide or there is any such avalanche, due to which huge amount of debris came in this river. So what will happen? The water from this area will come out. Maybe even this area, this boundary will also break down, and then there will be huge flooding across the valley. There will be huge flooding across the valley. Let me show you the image for this. Suppose this is your glacial lake. Gradually over the time, there will be more and more water in this area. And in the second condition, if suppose that snow avalanches is here or anything is here, so now this boundary, it can break down and this entire water can come in the nearby regions. It will cause the flood in the area. So this is called as glacial lake outburst flood. Okay. Means a flood which is caused due to outburst of a glacial lake. This outburst can happen because of multiple regions like earthquake, snow avalanches, landslides, or like cloud burst also. Now, the same thing happened in Sikkim. In the beginning, the Sikkim government told the NGT, National Green Tribunal, that it happened due to a cloud burst. But a recent study has said that it was not the cloud burst, rather than that there was deposition of huge amount of debris from the nearby peak, and that is the one responsible for this glacial lake outburst flood. So we have to see one more thing here, that what is cloud burst. We have to see one thing more, what is cloud burst. Can you tell me what is this cloud burst? Anyone? What is this cloud burst and how it is defined? How do we define the cloud burst? Like, this is one thing which everyone will tell. I am telling you in advance that this is very high rainfall. This is very high rainfall. So that is common, that this is very high rainfall, or someone may say that it is torrential rainfall. Very high rainfall is also called as torrential rainfall. Okay. So this is very heavy rainfall, that is clear. But how much heavy? How much heavy? And what is the time limit? See, cloud burst is said that if there is a rainfall of 10 centimeter, if there is a rainfall in 10 centimeter in a 10 square kilometer area, 10 square kilometer area within 1 hour, then we classify that as a cloud burst. Yes. So there is a definition of it also. A 10 centimeter of rainfall in a 10 square kilometer area within 1 hour, that is what we classify as cloud burst. So cloud burst is of course very heavy rainfall, but we have a specific definition for it. So 10 centimeter of rainfall within 1 hour in a 10 square kilometer area, that we classify as cloud burst. Okay. Now this cloud burst, like, what is the region? And we generally see that it is common in the mountainous areas. So what is the region behind it? Why we are having this cloud burst? See, when we talk about the mountainous areas, what happens that, like, suppose this is a mountain area, so air is rising here. Air is rising in this point. Okay. So normally what happens that when there is rise of air, it goes to a certain height. After that it condenses. After that it condenses and comes down in the form of vapor. But here what is happening? Like, suppose air is there, hot air. Okay. This hot air is rising. This is rising. So normally what should happen that after some height, after attaining some height, it should condense and rainfall. So there should be a condensation of this and there should be a rainfall. That normally when the hot air is rising, so it will condense after some time and then it will cause rainfall. So that is the normal procedure. But suppose there is a condition where this air is trying to come down, but more abrupt rising of and violent rising of air. So while this is going to come down, air is pushing it forward. More abrupt or violent rise of air, that in the same area this was supposed to come down, but it is being further pushed away by the hot air which is rising from the bottom. Okay. So this will not allow the cloud, this prevents the cloud from precipitation or prevents rainfall. Okay. So this prevents the rainfall. Then what will happen that there will be too much saturation of water in this cloud. Okay. So after that there will be too much saturation of water. And then this will cause cloud burst. It is similar to a balloon. Suppose that you have got a balloon from the market. Suppose if you are having your birthday or you are having any such celebration, you got a balloon from the market, you started filling it with air. It acquired certain shape. If you just open that balloon, the gas will come out of it. If you open that balloon, like if you are not closing it from that point, the air will come out and the balloon will again deflate. You have inflated with the air. If you lose that end, if you are not tying its end, then it will deflate again, the air will come down. But suppose that you keep on filling the air and air and air, you still putting more air inside the balloon, what will happen? After a certain limit, that will come out abruptly. This capacity of the balloon to hold the air is limited. In same manner, the capacity of the clouds to hold that air is limited. Under the impact of gravity, the entire water will come down in a very short span of time. And this is what we call as cloud burst. Okay. So the entire water mass will fall down. Entire air mass will fall down. Entire vapor will fall down within a few hours. And that is what we call as cloud burst. Okay. So too much saturation, under impact of gravity, all water will come down instantly. Like we are there in the month of Feb now. This is 31st of January. So 1 month of 2025 is already over. We are in the month of Feb. After that, you will have Holi. So during Holi, if you want, you can do experiment on this cloud burst. Take a balloon, start filling it with water. After you have filled this balloon with water, after a certain amount of time, if you still keep on filling it with water and water, there will be a time when this entire balloon will burst and the entire water will fall on your body or on your face. So that is what we see in case of cloud burst also. That there will be a time after which the cloud will not be able to hold the water. It will fall down instantly, abruptly. So that is what we call as cloud burst. Okay. So there is a proper definition also, and this is the cause. Okay. This is the cause, too much saturation of this air. Now, so that is our first topic, cloud burst, glacial lake outburst flood, and the Lonak Lake in Sikkim. Okay. Coming to the second topic, oil dependence of India. So while we have been talking about solar energy and all other things in the recent past, there is also an increase in the oil dependence of India. So let us look at the figures here. If we look at the figures, just see here. This is different years. We are having financial year of 2019. Okay. Sorry, just 1 second. Yes. We are having this financial year of 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 24, like April to October. And this is also like April to October. So you can see here, like from April to October, for the first 6 months, what we see that this has been continuously increasing. In 2019, our dependence was 83.8%. Right now, our dependence is 88.1% in the first half of 2024-25. Means from April 2024 to October 2024. For the financial year 2024-25, we see that oil import dependence has increased up to 88.1%. Okay. In 2024, overall for the entire year, it was 87.8. And for April to October 23, that is for financial year 2024, it was 87.5%. It was 87.5%. But now this number has increased up to 88.1%. It means our oil dependence is increasing day after day. So this is continuously increasing. And like there is one part why we are having this increase. Why this increase is also there. This increase is due to multiple factors. First is growing energy intensive industries. India is one of the fastest growing large economies of the world. It is one of the fastest growing large economies of the world, and we have got so many energy intensive industries which are rising in India. Automobile sectors, steel industry, and so many others. They are continuously increasing. So that is one of the cause. Second thing is increased vehicle sales. Like you have seen that we have so much of vehicles on the roads now. The roads are also congested and the demand of petrol, diesel is also quite high. Third thing is this rapidly expanding aviation sector. Our aviation sector, which was considered to be like an elite mode of transport, it's just like any other bus station now. If you go to most of the airport, it will be a scene like bus station. There are so many people on airports also that you might have to stand in long queues also. Just for passing through the security checkups and all, there is so much of like congestion there on airports as well. So we have seen that a rapidly expanding aviation sector is also there. Then we have this growing consumption of petrochemicals and also the population. We lead the world now in case of population. We have the largest population of the entire world. So due to all these factors, we have a huge consumption. We have a huge consumption of oil, and even our dependence is increasing day by day. Due to bike riding also. Yes, there are many people who are having scooties and bikes. So they are also like using scooties have become very much common now. And bikes have also become very much common. Cars have also become very much common. So due to all these factors, the consumption of oil is increasing. Now, one more thing, like if we look at this, what is the impact? Like what is the impact of this? First is our import bill. The first impact which we can see is our import bill. Our import bill is quite high and it is increasing day by day. We have seen there is another factor, that is depreciation of the Indian rupee. So combined together, there is a huge like stress on the Indian rupee because of this import. Second thing is, like there is one thing, import bill, that is also rising. Plus this sector, this like energy intensive sector is having a huge impact on environment also. Environmental concern. So this huge dependence on the oil, one thing is it is causing this import bill challenge. Second thing which we see that there is also environmental concern. There are other factors also, like our commitment to the Paris Treaty, that is also violated. Health concern is also there. So we can write that also, that Paris Treaty commitment, that is also being violated. There is also health concern, like the pollution which is there, it is also having a health concern. So that is all the different regions for which crude oil is not considered good. Why we are so much dependent on import? Why our import dependence is rising? If we look at the cause also, the number one cause is very less domestic reserves. We find that lesser domestic reserves are there. Lesser domestic reserves. Then at the same time, the poor extraction technology. Poor extraction technology. Plus all these factors which are there, they are also the one regions behind huge dependence on this import. Okay. The impact also we can see here. Okay. Now we will see it sometimes like what can be the alternative. We have already seen that solar energy and all others, the alternatives which are there, that is in our own hand. The promotion of electric vehicles, that also we have seen in previous classes. Hybrid vehicles or ethanol based vehicles like the flex fuel vehicles, they can also be the option. So if we look at the alternatives, if we are talking about the alternatives, if we talk about the alternatives, one is of course the e-vehicles, the electric vehicles which are there. Ethanol blending, promoting hybrid vehicles, then even public transport improvement, transport improvement. So these all factors can be there. They can all help in reducing our import dependence on other countries. We can become energy secure country also. Right now we depend on other countries for our energy security. Can you tell me one thing, like our most of the import, if we talk about financial year 2024, so our most of the import of this crude oil was from which country? If someone asks you what is the main source or which country is the main source of import of oil for India in the present times, which country is there? Yes, correct. You are all correct here that Russia is the one which is the major country. Like if you look at Russia, around $45.4 billion, that is the import value from Russia. Okay. For this oil, around $45.4 billion, that is coming from Russia. That is the import value from Russia. Then Iraq is also our one of the major supplier. Then we have Saudi Arabia also, UAE also, even United States, Kuwait, South Korea, Nigeria, Angola, Mexico. They are the countries from where we are importing most of our oil. Okay. So we are importing most of our oil from these countries. Import value in billion of 2024. Okay. So this is one another topic, that how much oil we are importing and from which countries, what is our dependence, what are the causes, the impact, and also the alternatives. Okay. That is the second topic. Now, coming to the third topic, polar bear. Okay. So, there is this one study. There is one thing called as forever chemicals. And there is a recent study that claims. So, I am not talking about that study. Why? Because it is only a claim right now. So what we will talk about? We will talk about the forever chemicals. So there was a recent study which has claimed that the fur of polar bear can be used as an alternative for the forever chemicals. So we will first try to understand that what is this forever chemical, why they are used, and what is their impact. Okay. So that is the thing which we will discuss. Since this has been claimed by just one study, we will not go in the detail of it, that how this polar bear fur will be used, because this is a claim of a study. It has to be verified. It has to be actually used. Then only we can discuss about it. So now see here, like what is this forever chemicals? So we have this per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. There is one thing called as per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. So these are man-made chemicals, and they are considered as forever chemicals. Okay. There is one thing, per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. So they are considered as forever chemicals. Why forever? Because they do not degrade. they do not easily degrade, or they do not degrade at all. They persist in the environment for a very, very long time. They persist in environment, they remain in environment for a very long time. Hence, they are called as forever chemicals. Where they are being used? They are being used to make non-stick cookware, water repellent clothing, stain resistant fabrics, cosmetics, firefighting foams, and other products. So basically, those products which resist grease, water, and oil. Nowadays, you are having different advertisement of clothings which do not get any stain. You are also getting advertisements of many of the cloths which claim that there will not be any stain on those cloths. There are even many such things which prevent us from water, like the raincoats and all other raincoats and everything. They are made using this perfluoro or polyfluoroalkyl substances. At the same time, the non-stick cookware, the pans which we are having in our homes for making less oily substances, or which doesn't absorb the oil and everything. So they are also coming from this perfluoroalkyl substances or polyfluoroalkyl substances. Okay. Now, if we look at this, like they can migrate to soil also, water also, and air also. Okay. So during their production or their use, they can enter into different substances. So next time when you are using non-stick pots or non-stick devices, non-stick pans and everything, think about this also. There are forever chemicals which may enter your food or your body through these non-stick cookwares also. Even the raincoats and everything which are there, or the stain resistant clothings which are coming right now, they are also made from this perfluoro or polyfluoroalkyl substances. Okay. What is the impact? Okay, like they can build up in people and animal, and if we look at their impact, they can cause this decrease in fertility. They can also impact the children. Their development may also be impacted. There is another thing, that it can interfere with the body hormones, increase cholesterol level, and sometimes even cancer. So these forever chemicals can have multiple impacts on the body, like decreased fertility, developmental challenges in children. There can also be impact on the hormonal balance of the body. There can also be impact on cholesterol level, and can also cause cancer as well. So these can be the potential impact of forever chemicals. So they persist in the environment, they do not degrade, and hence they are considered as harmful. So that is one thing which you have to remember about them. What questions can be there? Like first thing they can ask you, what are forever chemicals? They can ask you what are forever chemicals. Okay. They can ask about the usage and the impact. So these three things you have to see mainly, that where do we use them, what are they, and what can be the impact of these forever chemicals. I hope it is clear. Any doubt in this? Is this clear? Okay. Now, so this one more topic which we have to see is point Nemo. The Nemo point. So this is the INSV Tarini. They have already done this one circumnavigation of this many oceans, and now they are on their second such mission, navigating through the remotest part of the world. So they have just passed this Nemo point. So let us see that where is this located and what is the significance of this Nemo point. Yeah. If we look at them, this is the Nemo point. You can see this is our South America. This location which we are having here, this is South America. And this is your part of New Zealand. Okay. This is your New Zealand. Apart from this, you will find that there are some smaller islands. So this Nemo point is located in South Pacific Ocean. This is located in South Pacific Ocean. That is the Nemo point. Can you just tell me that at this point, what is the nearest location where humans can be present? What is the nearest location where humans can be present at this Nemo point? Which is the nearest place where humans can be present at this Nemo point? It is one of the remotest place having no human settlements. Okay. So, what is the nearest place? One answer from Mohit is Hawaii International Space Station. Okay. Yes, that is the speciality of this area. It's like nearest place is not any land on the surface. Its nearest place where humans can be present is International Space Station at a height of near about 300 to 400 kilometer. Okay. So if we look at this, it is like nearest to the International Space Station, not to any island, not to any country. It is much more nearest to the International Space Station than any other country. For going to International Space Station, this requires only a few hundred kilometers. But all other areas where life is present, it is at least 1500 miles away, 1500 or 1600 miles away. Okay. So it is nearest to the International Space Station, not to any country. Okay. Now, this point, it is also significant as a dumping ground. This is also an important dumping ground of space debris. This is also an important dumping ground of the space debris. Okay. So since there is no human settlement here, if any of the country has to dump their satellite, or if they have to like pull it towards the earth, and they know that it may cause some, or some of it may reach to the surface of earth, this is the point where they will dump it in the ocean, where you have no human settlement. Okay. So this is also the dumping yard or dumping ground of the space debris. The location is there in South Pacific. You can see it is having no such human settlements here. If you look at Antarctica, it is 1674 miles away from this. South America, it is 2600 miles, and Australia, New Zealand, it is also 2980 miles. So even if we look at the major continents, they are very, very far away from this. There is no human presence over there. So this is a very important space dumping ground also. So that is one location from which INS V Tarini, it has crossed here. Okay. It is trying to circumnavigate the entire world. They are going through the entire world. So they are one of the point which they have recently crossed, the remotest part, the remotest place on earth, Point Nemo. Okay. So that's why this one place was there in the news. Okay. Now, coming to the questions, like let's see the questions which are there from Environment of March 2024. We will see some questions. First one is, consider the following statements about Earth Hour. It is celebrated every year on the day of equinox. It is celebrated through Lights Out campaign. It is organized every year by the United Nations Environment Program. It is a point like this is considered a small island which is uninhabited. Means it is not it is not having any habitation. It is not having any habitation, but yes, this is a like small, very small island type area. So this is one question from Earth Hour. Earth Hour is celebrated every year from 2007. Okay. It has been started from 2007, celebrated every year to generate awareness among the people towards environment, towards climate, towards energy use. So what will be the correct answer here? Earth Hour. I think all of you who are preparing for the exam may have heard about this. Okay, one answer is B. Four answers is option B. One is option C also. What will be the answer? Other people. B option. Okay, let's see this. First thing is, it is organized every year by United Nations Environment Program. That is incorrect. Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF. It is the organizer for this. It is the organizer for this Worldwide Fund for Nature. This is the organizer for Earth Hour. So this third option is incorrect. Okay. So this option is incorrect. It is celebrated through Lights Out campaign. This is also correct. Okay. So this second option is also correct. Now the first option, it is celebrated every year on the day of equinox. This is incorrect. See, what is the date of celebration of this Earth Hour varies every year. It varies every year. Normally how it is celebrated in the last Saturday or second last Saturday, whichever is falling near the equinox. So equinox is there on 20 or 21st of March. Okay. Equinox is there on 20 or 21 March. That is the date for equinox. So if the nearest Saturday is 22, it will be celebrated on 22. If the nearest Saturday is 23, it will be celebrated on 23. So normally it is going to be celebrated on Saturday. It is going to be celebrated on Saturday nearest to equinox. So it is celebrated on Saturday which is nearest to equinox. So there, suppose that even the 26th is the nearest, then it will be celebrated on 26th. Let us say that the equinox is on 21st March and 21st March is a Monday. So in that situation, this Earth Hour will be celebrated on 26th of March. So the Saturday after this equinox, the nearest Saturday after this equinox is when we celebrate this Earth Hour. So here the answer will be only one. A will be the correct answer. When will 2025 pre-current affairs class start? So Priya, it is already going on. Like in Adhyan batch, we have already started. In crash course also, we will be starting it very quickly. Very soon we will start in crash course also. Okay. Now, second question. Consider the following statements about Anthropocene epoch. It is referred to as the period of Earth when human activities started impacting climate significantly. Second is, it has been officially recognized as the current epoch by International Commission on Stratigraphy. Consider the following statement about Anthropocene epoch. It is referred to as the period of Earth when human activities started impacting climate significantly. Second is saying it has been officially recognized as the current epoch by International Commission on Stratigraphy. So what will be the correct answer? Okay. A and B. B option is 2 only. C also, A also and B also. See, if we look at this question, it has not been officially recognized. Rather than that, International Commission on Stratigraphy, it rejected a proposal for calling Holocene epoch as Anthropocene. Okay. So the current epoch in which we are living, that is Holocene. So there was a demand that it should be declared as this Anthropocene. But it has been rejected. It has been rejected by this International Commission on Stratigraphy. Hence, this option is incorrect. First one is correct, that sometimes in normal conversation, it is said as the year when human activities started impacting climate significantly. So answer here will be option A, that is one only. Now, look at the third question. Which of the following statement is not correct with respect to United Nations Environment Assembly? It was established at the Rio Summit in 1992. Second is saying it is the highest level decision body on environmental matters. It generally meets every 2 years. It consists of all the 193 members of United Nations. So what will be the correct answer here? This is question number 3 with respect to United Nations Environment Assembly. What was your question, Moolchand? Abhay, your question about ethics, I will discuss that in the next session. Today we will be concluding the class at 17:55, means 5:55. So I will discuss that ethics question in the next session. Okay. Okay, option as B, option D also, A also. Okay. So now, if we look at this option B is correct, that it is the highest level decision making body on environmental matters. So this one is correct. It generally meets every 2 years. That is also correct. Generally, not always, but generally it meets after every 2 years. Okay. The third is saying it consists of all the 193 members of UN. That is also correct. Okay. So these three are correct. This one is incorrect. It was established in 2012. Okay. It was established in 2012 in the meeting of Sustainable Development Agenda. Okay. So this first option is incorrect. It was established in 2012. Okay. So answer here is option A. Okay. Option A. So that is the not correct one. So that will be all for today. In next session on Monday. Yes, Abhay, on Monday. So on Monday we will be having questions from Environment April 2024. Okay. And this will be the question for today. So this is the question. First is, what is high sea, what is territorial water, and exclusive economic zone. So that is the question for you. You can mention that in the comment box. Okay. So I hope that is clear. No, United Nations, it was established at Rio +20 in 2012. United Nations Environment Assembly, United Nations Environment Program was established in Rio. United Nations Environment Assembly was established in Rio +20 in 2012. Yeah. All incorrect. Okay, so study more properly. On Monday we will have some easy question for sure. Okay. Monday we will have 5 easy question. So thank you everyone. Enjoy the weekend. And then we will meet again on Monday to discuss the remaining things. Thank you everyone. Take care. Good night.